Hi there, my name is Lisa Hannum. I'm the managing editor at MoneySense, and today we're going to be talking with Morgan Roberts, Director of Sales at Ratehub Insurance. What is covered in a typical home insurance policy?
Your typical home insurance policy covers coverage for the building. So if it burns down, the insurance company will come rebuild it. It has guaranteed building replacement costs in most cases. So that gets you the house back to what it was before. Your outbuildings are usually covered. So anything not attached to your house. So sheds, pool houses, anything just not as detached garages are also covered in that. Then you get additional living expenses, which is if there is a claim, you can't live through the claim, the insurance company will put you up in a hotel or somewhere suitable for your family's needs.
As well as liability too, as well, right?
Yeah, liabilities in there too.
What's not covered in a typical home insurance policy? I feel like a lot of times what you think you need may not necessarily be the case until something happens, right?
Yeah, so you've got coverage for stuff like your jewelry and your content, but your jewelry limit and special stuff like that, it's a lower limit. It's usually around 5,000. Each provider is different, but if you've got more expensive jewelry or even collectively more than 4 to 5,000, you should get them appraised and have them individually scheduled. So just in case something does happen, the insurance company will pay for it. If not, you'd only get the blanket coverage. So at the most 5,000.
Oh, okay. And you also mentioned like things like golf clubs and other stuff too, like that too, right?
Yeah, have like super expensive bicycles. Those are covered. They all have limits. So your golf clubs aren't anything that's not found in a typical house. So
Oh, okay.
your bike would be covered, like the ones that you get from just the store. But people have the super cool bikes that they do, like the trail riding, or they do the triathlons and stuff like that. Those bikes you would need to provide the receipt in order to get that covered under your policy.
That's super good to know. What are some common add-on policies to home insurance?
Water coverage. So water coverage is not automatically on a policy. It is an add-on. So you need your sewer backup and your overland water. So those are things that you should always have your broker add on. It is a claim that happens quite frequently, especially with the amount of rain and stuff like that we've gotten. Those are definitely things that you want to get added on. Sewer
Yeah,
backup's a big one too because it's not a fun cleanup for that, and it's more expensive than you'd think.
yeah. I wouldn't want anything to keep after
No,
that.
no, you don't want to deal with that. Yeah.
One thing that we've been, some of our followers and readers have been talking about are premiums going up. So from an industry standpoint, are you noticing premiums going up?
Last few months. So that is normal though. A lot of companies do take price increases occasionally. It's not all the time. So I don't know why they're taking them at this point, but right now we have seen a few go up. It could be
Oh, okay.
more claims are happening.
Inflation's going up, so maybe that would be the cause, but we don't know that at this point, right?
Yeah, and the cost of materials and stuff like that have gone up. Like everyone's seen the cost of wood since COVID.
Yeah.
It's increased quite a bit.
How has working from home and affected premiums? And what about going back to the office? How will that affect premiums?
Well, working from home has changed your auto insurance because you've taken away that commute, or if you're driving 50,000 kilometers before, but now you're working from home, it's a
Yeah.
significant. So if you called your insurance company to change that step, you would have saw a decrease in your insurance at the beginning of COVID. Now with people going back to work, you've got to add that commute back on and the extra kilometers. You might even have extra coverages. Some people parked their cars for the last year too. Now
Yeah.
you need your vehicle. So that would definitely make your premiums go back up.
Yeah, for sure. What about home insurance? I remember we had written a couple of stories around fire insurance claims and how they increased when people working from home because they were cooking dinner or lunches where they weren't before.
Yeah, so I haven't seen any of that yet, but definitely I could see that being an issue. So you're home more, so you're doing stuff that you weren't doing during the day before. There's appliances running now that weren't running before.
Yeah.
So that may show a decrease in the home insurance rates over the next year. That's kind of a time will tell.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so much for your time. This was so informative and helpful because I feel like with insurance, well, I know personally, like sometimes you find out you need something when you actually need it, not when you're like planning out your insurance policy.
100%. You want to make sure you go through with your broker everything in your house that if you lost it, that you'd want back, just to make sure it's covered.
Yeah, for sure. And one thing I've noticed too, it's about replacing it completely, right? Like buying a new home is not the same as rebuilding it.
It's not. It's definitely rebuild value and your real estate value do not have anything to do with each other. It's your rebuild value is the cost of rebuilding the home.
Yeah, for sure. Well, thank you so much for your time. It was great chatting with you.
Thanks for having me.